It's been 30 years for Martin's collaboration with Eric Clapton. To celebrate, they are doing two very unique runs of the Eric Clapton Signature model guitar. We've got one of them we're going to tell you all about, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos, share them with your peeps. If you want to support the channel, you can visit our spring store link below for custom swag. Check out our podcast, the Fretboard Confessional, buy things from us, visit our website, share the channel, all those cool things. Eric Clapton, 30 years since their collaboration, which really sprung forth from MTV's Unplugged series, where he did probably one of the best versions of that. And I remember watching it live.
Wow.
Because I'm older than you. And actually, at the start, I said, 30? Is it 30 years? It doesn't seem like 30 years, but I guess it's been 30 years since 1995. So, pretty cool. That concert is not only quintessential to this partnership between Martin and Clapton, but I've heard lots of people, including Bob Taylor, say that that was a turning point for acoustic guitars, because up until that point, you know, a lot of acoustic guitar brands almost went just belly up during disco era. And you saw a lot of new brands kind of come out of that, but Martin particularly suffered. And then you had, hair metal, electric guitar craze of the 1980s. And so in the early 90s, acoustic guitars were not flying off shelves. And, there were a lot of bands that MTV did Unplugged with that were very memorable. Nirvana's was awesome. Have you seen any of these?
Alice in Chains, one of my favorites all time. That's
I love the Pearl Jam one. Eddie Vedder Goes Nuts. They're all fantastic. The Oasis one will live in infamy, if you know what I mean. But Clapton's is arguably probably the best.
Yeah, it's interesting. When we heard this was going to come out, I went, not too long ago, I was listening to that just on my drive home. And it's interesting how I almost associate that version of Layla, in my mind, I think about that as the guitar part over
until you watch Goodfellas.
With that piano outro, man, that's the best. Yeah, it's everybody always talks about Dylan went electric. Nobody talks about Clapton went acoustic.
Yeah,
right. But
good point.
Yeah, it's the beginning and the end.
That's gonna be the name of our book.
Yeah, Clapton went acoustic. Yeah, so the regular 0028 EC already a good, very popular model. One of the, it's almost like Les Paul became the signature model that's not a signature model. Mm-hmm. It almost feels like with Martin, the OMJM and the 0028 EC kind of have their own life outside of those guys, because they're just great guitars. They're not like maybe that's just a timeline thing. It needs to be around for a while before it, gets its own kind of, I just got the Eric Clapton, and that's what I play. One of my favorite things before we really get into it is it's not like the signature on there. Yeah, no, this is much, it's kind of different and understated in that way. And I said at the onset, there's two models. Yeah. You'll probably never see us review the other model. And I say that because they're extremely limited in number worldwide, and we're getting one. And my guess is it will already be sold, so you'll probably never see us get to play that guitar. But there's a lot of similarities between these, and in both cases, they are hearkening back to the pre-war Martin that Eric's playing on Unplugged, back when MTV actually played music on their channel instead of just a bunch of cheap reality TV shows. Whatevs. I liked that show Next. You remember that one?
No.
Late night watching trashy dating shows.
I do kind of blame my generation, because it was like the real world was the beginning of the end when it came to television. So anyway, so they've modeled it after that pre-war guitar. And so a lot of the specs on the 42 version of that and this guitar are taking their direction from that. Really quick, we should say, so the 0042's $10,999, hand signed by Eric Clapton, very limited in number, and it's Adirondack, it's Guatemalan, it's dripping in abalone. Yeah. And that one is very, very, very similar to the one he played as far as abalone goes. But I really do dig this model a lot because I'm a huge fan of herringbone.
Yeah.
I like
Fine herringbone.
the fine herringbone rosette. Like this is, if I was to spec a guitar, it probably resemble this very, very much. And then unlike, what sets this apart from the normal EC model, this is not a 0028 EC, this is a 00 EC, is neck shape, the lack of inlay for the signature, the inlay that we've got, the neck, and the bracing's different too. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So first thing I want to say is the top on Martin's site says spruce. And I'm guessing that's Sitka spruce, but
very nice.
They should have called this the 000 ML for medullary lines, am I right? Beautiful spruce top.
Silking.
Yeah. East Indian rosewood back and sides.
Well, silk stockings. That's another 90s reference you probably don't get.
HD zigzag antique white binding. This is scalloped X bracing. They're not doing V-class yet, I don't think.
It's X-class.
But this is 5/16 inch X bracing, not the 1/4 inch.
Mm-hmm.
Little, you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about. That inlay is the Golden Era 42 Snowflake. So
big fan.
Yeah, it's beautiful inlay. And
that's quite an upgrade, I think, on this guitar, honestly.
For a custom choice, that's not a cheap one. Now, the neck profile is authentic 1939.
Substantial,
and it's glossed. And the headstock also is noted to have the 1939 taper.
Yep, and that era logo, I believe is what it said.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
Open geared Grover tuners. Nice volute, all right, that you're working with here. Yeah, that's a guitar. So
it also
what am I
comes,
missing here?
Well, so you basically got everything on the guitar. Yeah. There's a few other things, of course, because it's a limited signature model.
Oh, yeah.
You've got the label inside, and not just the label, but actually on the back center brace, there's a laser etch call out to the fact that it's the 30th anniversary Eric Clapton model, and then his signature is on the label. In this particular case, it's a pre-printed signature. If you want him to hand sign it, it's $11,000 and comes with a guitar. A good way to put it.
The case also has that signature embroidered on there.
Yes, the case has it. It's a very nice case, and it's on the outside. On the top, it has the embroidered signature in contrasting white.
So, what's the price point on this one? $49.99?
I believe so.
So this is very similar to last year's OMJM versus the OM45JM. You got your really fancy version. The Eric Clapton is not as expensive as that one. So if you think the $11,000 is expensive,
we've got one.
We do have an $18,000 version. But the good thing about
that
this,
one comes with a case that has a bag for the case. So
it's a gig bag.
It's a
case gig bag. So these are not going to be around forever, but these are not limited to a certain amount like the 0042 EC is. That one, we're only getting one. These will be available for us to order throughout the rest of the year.
Well, till next March.
So
they're literally doing a year celebration. And if I recall correctly, I didn't read this in their literature, but I think it was basically March of 95 when that came out. And so it's March to March this year to celebrate 30 years. They're giving it the full year. So these will be available to order for that period of time, but not limited to a number. So.
Yep. Well, let's take a listen.
right, so there you have it. A few things I do want to call out that we didn't mention before the demo. The strings are Eric's Choice strings from Martin Guitar. They give you an extra set in the case. I've actually never played these strings on a guitar, and I like them.
Yeah.
These are light gauge strings. They feel great, but they are slightly different, is my understanding. So they're not an 80-20. They're like a 92-8 Foster Bronze. So they are a little bit different, and I do like the way they feel, and I like the way they sound. So you get an extra set of strings.
92.8, very lean.
Very lean.
I will say that the Eric Clapton's Choice strings are some of our best-selling Martin strings, and if you like them on here, but you want that sound, but you like different gauge, they do a medium as well. Yeah. So they're cool strings. People like them. And I miss Juber. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, LJ's Choice. Where'd those go? So one of the things that you noted about this, and I've noticed it too as soon as I picked it up, is it's very, very light.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on with that. I kind of poured over the specifications repeatedly looking for some telltale sign as to why it would be so light. It does have a genuine mahogany neck on it. Did we say that?
We did not mention that.
So, maybe as opposed to select hardwood, it's lighter. I thought maybe the top's torrefied, but that's not the case. But it is a very light, very resonant guitar. Weighs like 2 pounds.
Yeah, it's really nice.
So light.
I will also say, we mentioned the John Mayer thing. The OMJM 20th anniversary was available to order for the whole year, but after the first round of...
Hard to get.
It was really, really hard to get. It was like we had 2 to start, and then we figured we're going to sell the first 2. As soon as we sell them out, we're going to get 2 more or whatever. We went to get the 2 more, and they're like, it's going to be 8 months now. So these might be hanging around at the launch, which has already happened, but... I think we have maybe 3 that are already coming to us, and hopefully it will not be as crazy of a wait, but maybe a wait.
It'll be based upon demand. So if everyone loves them, and really it's a great guitar, I will say this. So it's a 1/11/16 nut, right? And it's a thicker neck. I'm typically a 1 3/4 inch nut guy, and so I kind of thought, I bet I'm gonna like this guitar, but I would not want this nut width. I would take this guitar home in a heartbeat. It feels really, really great, and I'm perfectly fine on it. So your mileage may vary, but keep it in mind. If this is really popular, here's what's going to happen, which happened with the John Mayer, is we're going to sell out. We're going to put orders in. Other dealers will do the same. It's going to create a backlog, and then they're going to be building through. But they've got this time frame, and so you're going to get in, or you're not going to get one. That's generally how it's going to go, even though they're not limited in number. Yeah. And it's a worldwide launch, and so the 0042 version of this guitar, it's ringing while I'm talking. That's cool. Great guitar. That launch is worldwide as well, and it's very, very limited number. So you hear it? Jeez. So anyways, great guitar. You should get one. We should all have one.
Well, if you're looking already at a 0028 or 0028 EC, you're in that ballpark. You're looking for this style of guitar, but with a couple different changes. The neck may be more comfortable to you than the normal standard neck, but also I think the aesthetic appointments, if you take the signature away, this is the kind of thing that somebody would make in the custom shop and say, I love a 28, but I want the fine herringbone and I would like a little bit nicer inlay, bit nicer inlay.
This is what I would build.
Yeah, it's like your sort of small tweaking of a custom, and if you were to, like we always say, if you were to spec this out in the custom shop, it would be more expensive than this guitar is listed at,
I'm glad they decided to go with just 00 EC.
Yeah.
Because it's 00 EC30, and if it had been 0028 EC30, that would just been confusing. So.
It's all confusing. But what's not confusing is it's good.
It's good. So if you want more information about this guitar, you should head over to our website,
alamomusic.com.
You can check all out the photos we have of what we've taken. You can chat with someone on the website. You can buy it. If you want to do some financing, you can reach out to us. We can help you with that. But it's a great guitar. And if you want to get the 0042 EC and you're watching this and it hasn't sold yet, you should get it. But it's probably already gone.
Maybe so.
So we'll see. And if you're new to our channel, what should they do, Cooper?
You're going to want to subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on so you know when the cool stuff's here, because it's all cool. and like and comment and share.
And I have a special request for this. I want you in your comments below, for those who were alive during the 90s, what was your favorite Unplugged episode from MTV? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.